Is your license suspended immediately in Nevada after you get a DUI? Well, I'll tell you here in Vegas, it depends. And that's not the answer people want, but it does depend on a couple of things. Number one, did you do a breath test? And I'm not talking about the breath test that they give you on the side of the road that the officer whips out of his pocket. Did they take you down to the jail and give you a breath test? If they did, they get the breath test results almost automatically. You probably got a little pink sheet of paper from the officer at that point. And that pink sheet of paper is an order revoking your license. But you have 7 days to drive on it from that point. Now, if you did a blood test, well, they have to wait for the results of the blood test to come back to show that you're over the legal limit. And that can be anywhere from 1 month to 3 months to 6 months. I've even seen it come up right on that 12-month period because the statute of limitations is 1 year. They have 1 year to file your DUI case. Once those blood results come in, that gets sent over to the DMV, and the DMV sends you a letter revoking your license. And so you got to make sure that your address is right with the DMV. The last situation is, did you refuse to give the breath test or blood test? Meaning the officer had to go get a search warrant from a judge to go ahead and get that from you. If that's the case, you probably got that pink sheet of paper, but your license was immediately revoked for 1 year at that point. Now, all of this revocation is handled with the DMV, and the DMV is separate from your criminal charges. There's a DMV process, and what we do as attorneys, we file for a DMV hearing. And once we file for a DMV hearing, you will have a temporary license to drive unless you refuse that test. And once we have the hearing, if we win the hearing, you're not going to have your license suspended at all. We win some of those. If you lose the hearing, you're not going to be without your license. All you need to do, worst case scenario, is go get a breath interlock device put on your car for that period of suspension, and you'll be able to drive at that point. So it's scary to get your driver's license suspended and revoked, but at the end of the day, you will be able to drive. It's just how fast you have to move. And that's why we need to know, did you refuse the test? Did you take the breath test? Did you take the blood test? At any rate, we need to request a hearing ASAP.